Hey besties, today we are at a barrel race and we're going to be running a Toaster today, and we don't have a whole lot of extra time, so we're going to get him saddled up and ready to go. Now we gotta walk all the way over here to get my stuff. Bruh, all my stuff fell. Bouncing. I put a saddle pad over this one thinking it would hold it. Okay. Okay, go with the star saddle today. I'm coming, Toaster. My saddle's set for Dakota because I rode him this morning, so I'm gonna have to let it all the way out for you. He's been living outside, so he's got a few little normal outside scrapes. If you see those, it's from the pasture. He went on a nature retreat. No, Bubby. Okay. I swear I brushed this, and it's just like I never did when I get back over here. Okay. Even Dakota looks chubby, but still not as big as you. Dakota's brake has agreed with him. What was that? Okay. This ought to do. I haven't run him since September, and it is June, so it's gonna be like I've never run him before, probably. Yeah. I've loped him through the barrels and stuff at home, but I've not run him. It was either September or October. So I might have to try and remember how to ride this thing. Really, it's kick to all the barrels, but not too far because you'll go by them. But if you don't kick enough, then you're gonna hit it, and then you gotta bump him, but you can't bump him too hard. It's easy peasy. This even fits Chester, and it don't fit you. Goodness, I have to put you on the scale. Maybe two more. I'll have to find his boots in the back, hopefully. Okay, bud, it's almost all the way out. You rebraided your hair. Gee, you've got electrical tape. Do one more. There we go. Now I've got to go find his boots, so BRB. Alright, so now it is time to take off his fly boots so that we can get his sports boots on. I left the fly boots on as long as I could because he hates the flies and they're horrible down here, and it was super hot. So I waited till the last minute to put these boots on him, and I'm running in these like little green boots. Do my bell boots match? No, I thought they did before I left the house, and they do not at all. So don't judge me too hard there, okay? It's fine. I don't have to be matchy-matchy all the time. So I'm going to start with the back boots just because that's what I grabbed first. And like I said, I have not run him since September, so I was kind of trying to think through what I needed to do, but I also really just wanted to focus on a couple things instead of trying to make the perfect or the fastest run. I wasn't really here feeling like I needed to win, if that makes sense. I just wanted to get a first run back on him. I am going to run him this weekend again, so we'll we've been working on it. We'll see how it goes. So just gonna get these boots on, and I am just happy that he is back. Of course, if I think anything is off with my horses, I take them straight to the vet. I usually don't think that it's behavioral immediately, just because usually if a horse has been fine and then all of a sudden that horse is not fine about something, usually indicates that it is not behavioral. It is probably a health problem. They need to go to the vet. So we got him to the vet a few times. He did a round of some treatments, and he is doing really good, and I'm excited to get to run him again. I'm going to get my helmet on, and we're going to head to the warm-up. And this warm-up is kind of small. It's very long, but width-wise, it's not very big. And he is a mammoth. Especially if you've ever seen him in person, you know how big this horse is. So I'm going to get his fly mask off, get his halter off. You will see how I have the reins on my arm. Don't do that. Unclip one side, okay? Don't copy me here. So I'm going to get that bridle on. I'm going to do the throat latch. And we are going to head off to get on. It was a very pretty night. It was just super, super hot. So you'll see that we are both sweaty. Could not have prevented this one bit. He was sweaty just standing at the trailer. So you will see that I do not overdo it in the warm-up because of that. Trying to keep us both as cool as possible, but making sure that he, of course, is good enough to run. It was a little bit of walk to the warm-up, but not too bad. I actually did kind of like this setup, the parking in the field to the warm-up. That was all pretty easy. And then I do run and see the alleyway because the alleyway situation here was a little bit crazy. It was definitely tiny and really small for me on this horse, but on especially any of my horses, it was the strangest alleyway setup I've ever seen, I'm actually going to say. And I can confidently say that because I've seen a million alleyway setups. So I went back there and looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh. So I started making my plan for that while I was walking, and I do a lot of walking, especially because it was so hot. I want to make sure that he is getting warm, but I'm not overexerting him. And again, with synovial fluid, I think it's especially important for older horses to walk a long time, make sure that synovial fluid is nice and moving and warm before you ask to go any faster. Synovial fluid kind of starts almost like not completely a solid, but as you walk, it loosens up and you get more movement. So it's good to walk a little bit more when you get on. I don't like just hopping on and going into a lope or a trot or anything like that. They definitely need some walking. Even the younger horses do too. And so that's what we're doing. We're walking and we're walking and we're walking. Now I'm going to ask him for a trot, and I am going to sit the trot on him and kind of ask him to collect and put his head down. So I know that we are mentally together here before our run. And I am going to post a progress video for my YouTube members of teaching Toast to put his head down. His sitting trot is so hard to sit. He is so bouncy, so I'm really having to use my abs to keep my butt into my seat here. Chester's sitting trot, super smooth, super nice, no bouncing. Toast, I think it's because his stride and his legs are so long. I have to fight to sit down because of his stride. So you can see that a little bit. I'm trying really hard to sit deep and make sure I'm not bouncing around, but his sitting trot is hard. So I'm just going to trot around both ways. Again, making sure he's super warm. I don't overdo it, but I do enough. And then once I am done with the trotting, I'll walk him just a little bit, and then we are going to ask him to lope. And he looks pretty good. He's doing really good. This warm-up pin, like I said, on him is kind of tight just because it's not very wide. It's long, but it's not very wide, and usually at barrel races, the slower people are on the rail and the faster people are on the inside, which I know is different from other horse show groups of individuals, but that's how we roll. And so I was trying to stay on the inside while I was trotting and loping around, and he is a mammoth. He's maybe 16.3, but I don't have a measuring stick to tell you. If I do get one, I will let you know ASAP. But that is my guess. And he's not only tall, he is just wide and huge, and he takes up so much space everywhere. So that was nice. I'm just gonna still just trot around, and then I'm gonna ask him for that lope. And I didn't ask him to put his head down as much at the lope. I will in the next video you see of him, but my reins were fairly short. I asked him a little bit, but I don't have a ton of rein to release, and that's really important for that. So I'm just trying to make sure he's warm. I'm not dogging on him too hard. Like I said, I do want to know that he's with me every step of the way, that he's responsive, and that he's listening in his warm-up, but I didn't dog on him too hard about this at the lope. And you can see he's starting to get kind of sweatier than he was before. So I don't lope forever, again, just enough that he is warm, and I'm confident that he's not going to pull anything because I didn't warm him up good enough. I walked just a little bit, and then we were going to do the exact same thing the other direction, trying not to run into anybody and just trying to get warm here. The grass in the parking was really uneven, or else I maybe would have tried to go warm up out there just to have a little bit more space on him, but I could not. So this is where we are. Nothing bad about it. Chester actually really likes these kinds of warm-ups, but Chester is not as big as Toast. Every horse has their own personal preferences, really. So now that he's warm, I'm going to tighten my cinch, kind of get my last little game plan, and go into run. Now, I did not have a good angle going into the first. I will post a full run review for my members, and I was a little timid. I'm not going to lie. I hadn't run him in forever, and I finally figured it out by the third. Will our next run be better? Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be looking out for a new vlog super soon. Bye.